What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another Monday live stream. And listen, it was only right that I started with that intro, you know. Saliba had to take the dog for a walk, and the dog got taken for a walk. It's nothing personal, bro. I know times have changed. At one point, you know, that was my boy, you know. Auba, you was my boy, but listen, as you said, bro, nothing personal. We move people. It is what it is. The badge is more important than the name on the back of the shirt. That's what Tony Adams once said. Big up to each and every one of you tuning in today. Happy Monday. Hope you are safe and well. Appreciate everyone who tuned in for the Europa League draw and the Champions League draw. We did that live. It's been an absolute massive few days of football. Let's be totally honest. I mean, yesterday, in fact, the weekend in general, we were generally Leno. If Leno saves Haaland's penalty, it's basically the perfect weekend for Arsenal Football Club. Man said the lawyer is now the prosecution, I'm telling you. Leno should have saved that penalty of Erling Haaland. But you look back at the weekend, people, you know, Tottenham lose to Liverpool, which was a great result for Arsenal. Manchester United get slapped by Unai Emery. You know, good evening settings, people. Brilliant. And then we go and I think we brushed Chelsea aside, which is why I put that, people. We've brushed Chelsea aside. That game, for me, we could have won that game by more if our final pass was a little bit better. I think we could have won that game in the first half. And then, obviously, massive news today coming out, people. Manchester United get drawn against Barcelona in the Europa League. I was shamelessly celebrating that one, I'm afraid, people. You know, that could be them out of the Europa League already. And then Liverpool get Real Madrid in the Champions League. Somebody sent me a great message, though, which apologies, I haven't actually checked the name, saying, do Arsenal actually want other English teams getting knocked out of Europe? Or would we rather they went, you know, a lot deeper into the competition, which is going to cause fatigue and tiredness and all of that stuff? So, very interesting. Now, I can see a lot of Liverpool fans in the comments. Now, I've seen this just before coming on stream. FSG are prepared to sell Liverpool. And I love the way some of you were saying, somebody said, Alexa, play the Meek Mill intro, which I hear you on that. Listen, obviously, I got friends. My dad's a Liverpool fan. I think FSG selling Liverpool is very exciting for Liverpool fans. I've got to be totally honest. I don't think they've been terrible owners because they've brought stability. They've increased your stadium. They got Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp has been an absolute godsend for Liverpool fans. I think he's massively overachieved with what he's done with the tools he's been given, you know, selling Coutinho, getting Van Dijk and Alisson, getting people like Wijnaldum and Robertson from the Championship. Unbelievable. I just think Liverpool, imagine how powerful Liverpool would be if they had an owner similar to Manchester City. I think they would be the best team in the country. What is interesting now is a lot of Liverpool fans have criticised Manchester City's model. How are Liverpool fans going to feel if that kind of oil money rolls into Anfield? Are they going to have a real problem with it? Or are they going to go, you know what? I had a problem with it when they was doing it, but if you have it, are you going to have an issue with it? I've always said, I'm not even going to cap, and I say it here and I've said it before. I wanted the Kroenkes to sell Arsenal, and I had no problem with oil money rolling to the Emirates. I said, you can put petrol all over the Emirates Stadium. I'll take it. Just make sure we win the title. So I didn't hide from it, people. But it will be interesting to see how the Liverpool fans will react if oil money turns up at Anfield. I've got a pretty good feeling they'll relax once they see how successful they're going to be. But listen, exciting times. The Premier League's all over the place at the moment. And it was a great weekend in terms of Arsenal. I just see an interesting one. Somebody just said, I've totally missed that. Apologies again, I'm all over the place. Comments are flying in. Somebody went to the West Ham game and said Zaha was fantastic. You know, I'm a little bit of a representative of Wilfried Zaha. So, yeah, he was fantastic yesterday. Scored as well. Gunnar Colt said, Curtis, we either have the legs and the quality to win, or we don't. Doesn't matter what happens with other clubs. It's about us. To that point, we need to buy 2 starters in January. I totally agree. I've changed my outlook and thinking on what Arsenal are dealing with. Start the season, I said, get top 4. Don't care how it happens. Get top 4. With the position we're in right now, Arsenal Football Club, we should be trying to win the title. We should be trying to win the league. I don't buy into all this, what Vinay was saying last season about, oh, you know, we're on schedule. Football doesn't care about your plan. Football don't care about your plan. Right now, we're in a situation where Liverpool have had an off season. Chelsea have had a wobble. Tuchel's gone. They don't look great. Man United are not there yet. Ronaldo and all that. They're still trying to figure things out. Tottenham, they're playing horrible football. Manager doesn't look overly happy at times. Manchester City, I think their focus mainly will be on the Champions League. It will still be on the Premier League, and they still have the squad that's capable of winning both. I just think Arsenal have an unbelievable opportunity that they may not have for a number of years, and I think they should go for it. If you go for the title and you don't win it and you finish second, it's still an unbelievable season for Arsenal, considering we finished 5th. So let's see. It's going to be interesting how we move forward. But lots to talk about today. Big up Darren. Great result yesterday. Sheik Grizz, I'm telling you, man, let's see if he changes his tune. Granite Xhaka said, choo choo, Granite, the conductor is here, Curtis. Show your ticket or please step off the train. I admitted yesterday in the hype and the feeling of beating Chelsea. I said, that's it, I'm on the train. I've opened the door, I've pressed the button, I've popped my head round. It looks good there. They're handing out free drinks. I'm going to get on, but I don't own a ticket. I jumped the barrier. So if the conductor turns up, I'm in big trouble. But if we can get in that Champions League, I'm very much happy. And I think we're going to get Champions League. I'm now looking at it. Can we get more than the Champions League? Dio, thank you for the super chat. The way I see it, try and secure top 4 as early as possible first, then we can see how we are doing in potentially winning the league. My only thing with that, and I agree with you, Dio, people saying I was under the influence. I think the hype got the better of me. I think January will dictate whether Arsenal can go in a title challenge or not. So what I'm saying is, just for example, people, Josh Kroenke was at the game yesterday. He was at Stamford Bridge. There's pictures all over the media and online. Josh Kroenke was at Stamford Bridge. It's believed he's turned up for his, winter meetings to discuss transfers and what happens moving forward. Now, there's 2 things that can happen in this window. Arsenal could sit there and go, do you know what? We spent big in the summer. We're top of the league. We don't need to spend big in January because it looks like we're going to get Champions League, which was probably the target. They can say that, or they can say, do you know what? We want a top 4, but we're having an unbelievable season. How about we get 2 top quality players and see if Mikel can get close to that title? Now, those 2 scenarios are very different and may take different amounts of money to make them happen. And this is what I want to see with the Kroenkes. Are you really about that life? If we come out of this transfer window with no signings or some little cheap and cheerful loan player that isn't going to make a significant difference, I personally will be very disappointed in this ownership. And that, for me, will tell me that this ownership are never going to try and win the Premier League, because I don't know if you're going to have a better opportunity than this season. So we'll have to see. Curtis was under the influence. Don't go on the train yet, man. Listen, if the ticket inspector comes, I've got no ticket. I'm kicked off the train, people. So we'll have to see. Southern Gooner, thank you for the super chat. Morning, brother Curtis. What a weekend. All kinds of madness. Get some signings and we are set and ready to roll. We're challenging whether people realise it or not. Let's seize the moment. Like, sometimes people, you've been in the nightclub. You've gone on a night out. You're not in your very best clothes, but they're good, solid. You might have your Ralph Lauren top on. It's not quite your Gucci shirt, but you can't wear that every week. It's a bit loud with, all the G's all over it. So, you're looking decent. It's not quite payday week, but you've got a little bit of money in your pocket. And that 9 out of 10's in the club, and you've had a look and you thought, oh, not bad. And then all of a sudden she's made eye contact. You're like, oh, And she's looked again and you've gone, geez, I didn't think it was this type of night because I'm not wearing my Gucci shirt and it wasn't payday weekend, so I can't really buy bottles this weekend. My charger, apologies. So I can't buy bottles this weekend, but, I could get her a double and, I'm going to go for it. I didn't expect this opportunity to turn up and you got to go for it. You say, listen, I'll go for it in my Ralphie shirt and see what happens. Before you know it, mate, you got the BlackBerry pin and you're sending messages late at night, people. So you got to go for it. The Premier League's making eye contact with us right now saying, come here and buy me a drink. You know what I mean? So I think we got to roll over there and see what we can do, people. So, yeah, man, seize the moment, Southern Gooner. I totally agree with you. Dylan, thank you for the super chat. Flatmate just asked, why is that bloke always on about trains? Big up the community. What a year. Dylan, I hopefully you can explain for me. I don't want him to think I'm train spotting, but yeah, I'm sure you can explain that for me. Don said, Curtis, is that how you chat with women? Listen, I'm cool. I don't need to do anything, but I'm just saying, people, the Premier League's giving us eye contact. Go and get the Premier League a drink. And, they want a double Zaha on the rocks and a Yuri Tielemans. It is what it is, people. I love these Curtis analogies. It's one of them. I'm telling you, the Premier League is staring at us. Yeah? You either go over there and buy a drink, or Man City will turn up and buy a bottle of champagne, and then we're all out of it. Is Kev in the chat? People saying Kev's coming on the channel tomorrow, people, 2 p.m. We got a show lined up. We've been talking. Kev's doing great things in the media at the moment. So big up to Kev. Kev will be on tomorrow. He's been telling me for about 2.5 years. It's the players, Curtis. Maybe I should have listened to him in the first place, but we'll speak about it tomorrow at 2 p.m. Bad Bar, thank you for the super chat. Would you rather throw the Brighton game and have more rest to push the league or try and win an extra trophy? It's a good question. For me, neither one, in the sense that I wouldn't throw the Brighton game, as in just play the kids and get beat, because winning the Carabao Cup has often spurred Manchester City onto great things. You win it, March, and then you carry on. But I never turned down a trophy, but I certainly, for me, I don't want to see Saliba, Thomas Partey. I don't want to see players like that starting on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. I like the Carabao Cup. We haven't won it for a long time, and I would love to win it. It's still a trophy. It's still a trip to Wembley. But for me, I wouldn't be going full strength in terms of that Brighton game. How are Brighton going to take it? If Brighton turn up full strength and we play our Europa League team, we might get beaten. But yeah, I would play the Europa League team. So Fabio Vieira, Holding, Matt Turner, Cedric, Kieran Tierney, dare I say, is a Europa League Donny for us now. So yeah, I wouldn't go full strength for it. Curtis, no wonder that lady asked you to rip your vest off with all the eye contact. Hey, listen, Don, relax. It's only Monday. I haven't even stretched yet. You know what I mean? I have to stretch. I warm my way up as the week goes on, It's only Monday. I got to have a little jog around the block first. Yeah, the kids and academy players. Europa League squad for me. I would not be turning up with Partey and them. One league game before the World Cup. If we beat Wolves next Saturday night, we're top of the Prem going into the World Cup. That's a far bigger game for me. Carabao Cup would be a bonus. It's certainly at the bottom of my list. For me, push for the title and see how high you can get, number one. Europa League, number two, because we haven't won a European trophy for so long. FA Cup, number three. Carabao Cup, number four. That would be my order, people. Make sure you lick down the like button. 1,500 of you already. We should be an easy 1,000 likes. We've just beaten Chelsea. Great man said, Big C, I always watch your streams. Big up yourself from Jamaica, but I live in Florida. Keep up your great work and big up the community. Big up yourself, bro. And great community. Always enjoy touching base with the community on a Monday, especially, the doctor's outfit that I was going to order off Amazon last season. There's no need for it. I don't need to go anywhere near it right now. I think we can get through this whole season with no Arsenal therapy. It's unbelievable. I'm relaxed. I'm enjoying watching Arsenal. I'm actually tempted to buy training kit. It's wild. And I'm looking at myself in disgust, but then I'm thinking to myself, just embrace it, and I am going to embrace it. Anyway, people, I'm way off topic. I've waffled for 16 minutes. Just got in, pushed back the live to the beginning. I see Aubameyang is a dog. Yeah, listen, it was the perfect intro. Saliba had him on chains yesterday. The only time he let him off was when he was substituted. So it is what it is. Who would have thought? They used to call me Aubameyang's lawyer. As somebody said earlier, I am now the prosecutor. I don't like him. He's a fraud. He's got a dodgy hairline. The Lambo is, I don't like the Lambo. His brother annoys me. He's nothing but a tapping merchant. He's not an Arsenal legend. And what else? Yeah, your advert was stupid. And you're 33 and you're washed up. And what else? Yeah, the FA Cup, thanks for the memories, but do one. So, yeah, never rated him. And we move on. Mikel Arteta's magic army. We keep going. Coleman music business. Yeah, it is fraudulent. And, yeah, I'm saying it in 4K, but times change, people. If you've ever read the book, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, times change. What I liked yesterday, I don't necessarily like today. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Shameless, I know, but it is what it is, people. It's like your ex-girlfriend. You think she's amazing when she's with you. When she leaves you, you start saying that she's a psycho and you're glad that you're not together anymore. It is one of them, people. Anyway, let's move on, people. Shameless settings. We are top of the league. I just thought I'd remind you of that in case you forgot, because I don't want people to forget. Let's talk about yesterday's game, people. Let's talk about yesterday's game. For me, I don't know about anybody else. I watched the game back, and I'm saying light work, people. I'm telling you, I thought that was light work. I actually don't think we even played that well. I really don't think we played that well. I mean, look at the stats. It's not all about stats, but 14 shots on goal, 2 on target. Chelsea had 5 shots, 1 on target, 44% possession. Arsenal had 56% possession at the bridge. As I said yesterday, for my hip-hop fans, KRS-One, the bridge is over, people. The bridge is a mess right now. Let me tell you, now that, you know, Abramovich has took that money and disappeared, and, you know, Thomas Tuchel's gone. Graham Potter looking like Harry Potter, and I don't mean a magician. He just looks a bit nerdy. And I don't think Graham Potter's going to see out that contract. That is for sure, because Chelsea, considering you got Havertz, 75 million, Raheem Sterling, one of England's best players, and Obaru, listen, can finish if he gets chances. They stunk out the bridge yesterday. That was a stinky performance. The bridge is over. KRS-One settings, people. Jashar said, big up Curtis. There is a history of League Cup winners winning the league apart from us. Liverpool, Man U, Chelsea and Man City have all done it. Listen, if it leads to us winning the title, I'll take the Carabao Cup all day long. Ivan said, Curtis, does Cruz still want the Sterling shirt? Listen, I did what every parent has to do when their child supports Arsenal or supports your club and they are struggling, right? I've told this story before. I'm sure I said it. 2 years ago, when we finished 8th, Cruz was having a little shaky moment, you know. He was like, listen, Dad, I'm going to be honest. I'm a big fan of Sterling. He liked Sergio Aguero. He liked De Bruyne. He liked Leroy Sané. He was like, Dad, I like Man City and we're a bit poor right now. We're finishing 8th. The kids at school are laughing at Arsenal. I said, listen, I know it's difficult, but what I'm going to do, I didn't say this to him, but in my head I said, right, I'm going to press the emergency button, right? I was hoping not to have to press this so early, but I'm going to press it. I said, right, on Sunday, when you're off, I'm going to take you to the Emirates. So I took him around the Emirates, gave him a tour of the ground, showed him all the statues of our great history, Thierry Henry, Tony Adams. And then I took him into the shop and I let him pick pretty much everything that he wanted. He wanted the away shirt. He wanted a football. I think he bought a cap. He bought all kinds of things. And I used the discount and got out of there. And that seemed to calm him down for the next 12 months. He doesn't know that that was a bribe. I admit to it. But it worked. And by the time he figured out what I probably did to him, we're now really good. Sterling's left. Aguero's retired. They've only got De Bruyne. I keep telling him De Bruyne's 30-odd. He'll go downhill anyway. Now the kids can't say nothing about Arsenal. Now he's walking into school, swinging his arms out with the chest up and the shoulders up. So I think I've won that battle. The only way is up from here, people. So luckily he's at school now. He don't know this. But, you know, I share these things with the community. It's shameless, but we've all got to do it sometimes, people. It was worth every penny. Can you imagine him being a Man City fan? They've got no fan. Listen, let me not diss Man City, but yeah, I had to press the emergency button. It was merch and a tour, or I was finished. He would have been singing Blue Moon and singing Oasis songs. So anyway, it was a masterclass, I would like to say. Anyway, let me get back to it. Yeah, he's not interested in Man City. He's a hardcore gooner now. Let's get back to the game. I just thought I'd share that one. Let's go into player ratings. Forget their team. Look how many yellow cards Chelsea got. 4 yellow cards. Let's talk about the table topping. Gooners, don't you ever forget it, people. I remember them days. You know, I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, Meek Mill settings, people. I remember being bottom of the league, losing to Brentford, getting bullied, getting trolled. It is what it is. We have to enjoy it. Big C, I lost both my sons to their stepdad's team, Nottingham Forest. Elvis, man, put your foot down there, bro. The stepdad can't be ruling the popper. Let the kids know who made them. You know what I mean? The emergency button was well needed. It had to be hit. He was seriously struggling. He was like, listen, I want number 7 Sterling on a Man City shirt. I said, nah, that can't run. That can never run. Calm down, you'll fumble eventually, kid. I realise. I know. I know. Fair play to you, Chelsea fan. You've turned up, but you've got to take it. You've got to take it. Don't be salty about it. You've had a lot of success. Let's go into the player ratings. Oh, I love these player ratings. High numbers. I'm shameless today. I'm absolutely shameless. Make sure you check me out on Talk is Cheap with Laurie at 5 o'clock on AFTV, people, where we'll continue. Laurie is actually slightly defending Aubameyang a little bit as well, so make sure you tune in for that. 3 streams in one day, people. 4 with the AFTV one later. Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Aaron Ramsdale-Leone. He was... The last few weeks, he's been like a Brazilian after the mistake against PSV. He's been excellent. His distribution was good. I've got 7 out of 10 for him because I'm going to be honest. A 9 for his pre-match interview. I like the interview. The only reason I gave him 7, some people giving him higher, he could have made a cup of tea. He could have walked into the dressing room, made a tea, got the biscuits out, and then walked back on the pitch. Chelsea still wouldn't have had a shot on goal. It was absolute light work. And this is what I'm saying, people. I actually think that Chelsea got brushed aside yesterday easily. I mean, looking at the stat, Chelsea had 1 shot on target at home. He literally, we could have had Matt Turner in goal, would have won that game. So he gets a 7. Some people giving him an 8. I'm not giving him an 8 just because he had nothing to do. What did he need to do? Light work. Light work at the bridge, people. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Come on, man. It was light work. 7 out of 10 for Aaron Ramsdale. Quality, clean sheet, kept it moving. Great interview before the game. Bosh. Let's talk about Ben White. I'm always keen to give Ben White, like, more credit because I feel like in the past I haven't given him a lot of credit. I wasn't a big fan of him at centre-back. And he looks like a £50 million right back. He's a £50 million centre-back playing at right-back and just pocketing people on a weekly basis. I'm going to give him 8 out of 10. I thought he was excellent. He got forward in the first half, supported Saka. I thought Cucurella was getting ripped on that side. I'm giving Benny Blanco an 8 out of 10. I have to keep telling myself, this guy ain't a natural right-back. I'm with you, Anne. I am genuinely proud of Ben White. I'm proud of him. Because the turnaround has been amazing. I was going at 50 million at centre-back. This guy is overrated. He's a 25 million pound centre-back who's got a good tan and nice tattoos. At right-back, mate, you've been outstanding. I would go as far to say, I think he's been the best right-back in the Premier League this season. That's not me saying he is the best right-back. I still think Reece James, Walker and them man there are better. But they're injured. He's been the best right-back in the Premier League this season. Simple as that. England squad's announced on Thursday. If he doesn't go to the World Cup, there's something wrong, but it is what it is. Best right-back in the Prem this season. Wouldn't surprise me if Southgate doesn't even pick him. Let's go to Alexander Zinchenko. I mean, this guy's getting high rating for a couple of reasons. You see the way this guy celebrates. Oh, Trippier's had a good season. Trippier's been very good. No, I'm not going to cap. Trippier's had a very good season. I'm still going Ben White, just as a shameless Arsenal fan. I've already committed to it, so I won't rewind and go backwards. I'm sticking by him. Zinchenko, shameless celebrations. I love it. Been out for over a month. Trains 3 times and then pockets Raheem Sterling. What did Sterling do in that game yesterday? Playing right wing. Former Manchester City teammates. Epic celebrations and you pocket Raheem. 8 out of 10. Bang. Not even at his best, by the way. Not even at his best. It's more the circumstances why I'm giving him 8. I'd say his performance was a 7. He wasn't actually at his very best. But him stepping into midfield allowed Xhaka to go and support Partey. He was good on the ball. And I thought he pocketed Raheem after a month out, which ain't easy. Definitely rusty. I agree with everybody saying he's rusty. Boy said, yeah, Trippier is still half a spud, so I ain't putting him above. Zinni gets an 8 for me. Zinni gets an 8. Little bit rusty. He will get better over the next couple of weeks. But he's clearly Arteta's number 1 left back. It's going to be a tough time for Tierney, but Zinni is quality. He's a technician. 2 centre-backs. I mean, listen, I'm going to start off with our Brazilian. I'm applauding him. I am applauding him. And do you know why I'm applauding him? Because he's had a lot of criticism over the last month. I've criticised him. Sometimes people have said I've been too harsh. I don't believe it has been. Because when you're good, you will get all the praise you deserve. When you're poor, you do deserve to be criticised, especially if it's costing us or nearly costing us. Gabriel yesterday was fantastic. It was raining. He was up for the fight. He didn't make no mistakes. And he tops it all off by scoring the winning goal and then shamelessly celebrating in Aubameyang's face. The battle of the hair transplants. Are you absolutely mad? And then he goes and tweets, it's nothing personal. I mean, listen. It should be 10 out of 10, people. Like, just for the tweet. It's 10 out of 10 for the tweet. I should be giving him 11 out of 10 for the tweet. For the performance, though, just to keep it a buck, I'm giving him 9 out of 10, right? I thought he was fantastic. He was aggressive. He won his headers. His clearances were good. He scored the winning goal. Magnificent performance by him. And he deserved that because he's had shaky moments the past few weeks. But yeah, man, the hairline beef, he definitely won that. The tweet just makes it, 27 out of 10. He won the internet. Let's just say that. He was man of the internet yesterday for sure with that tweet. Diego said, big up Big C. That Blue Bridge looked ish covered as our Europa League pot bench. I'm telling you now, Potter won't be there by the end of 2023. That contract's getting ripped up. Thiago Silva's going to knock on the door and say, yo, who's this Donny with the Brummie accent, man? I've never heard of him. Get rid of him. Get Zidane here or someone. Joshua, big up yourself, bro. He said, big up Curtis. Aubameyang is still my guy. I arranged to link him after the game, but no one has seen him. There's strong rumours that Gabby and Saliba have been taking him for questioning. You need to search their house. Because he got pocketed, that is for sure, by both of them. Saliba, so Gabriel gets a 9 out of 10 for me, but he won the internet. He shut down social media. William Saliba, I mean, it's just copy and paste. Whatever I said last week about him, say it this week. It's the same again. Just copy and paste it. I used to say this about Gabriel last season. I used to say, is he our best centre-back since Touré and Campbell? I think I can safely say it about William Saliba now. I don't care. Let me say one thing, by the way. He's the best centre-back in the Premier League this season. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, he's been the best. He is the best young centre-back in the world. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. All I'm saying, please, Arsenal, get this guy to sign a new contract. I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm concerned about him going to the World Cup without signing that deal. Do I think he wants to stay at Arsenal? I think he's really enjoying it. I think he will. But I'm nervous because once Madrid, Barca, PSG, once they all see this guy close up at the World Cup, they realise how good he is. they might start going, 18 months left on his deal at Arsenal. He's on 40 grand a week. I think Arsenal are playing a massively risky game with his contract. Now, ultimately, it's down to Saliba. Saliba signs when he's ready. He could be saying, no, I'll wait until after the World Cup. Because if I have a good World Cup, that 120 you're offering me ain't enough if Real Madrid make an offer for me. So, Arsenal, please get the deal signed. He was given man of the match by the Arsenal website. I'm giving him 9 out of 10. I'm not giving him man of the match. I thought he was sensational alongside Gabriel, but my man of the match is a little bit higher up in the team. We're going to talk about him next. William Saliba, 9 out of 10. Copy and paste. Colossus. Pocketed Aubameyang. I was talking to Kevin Campbell this morning about the time when Brozier was 2 or 3 yards ahead of him. He was offside, but Saliba didn't know. Saliba just casually outpaces him, waits as him off the ball, and just says, yeah, thank you very much, mate. Where do you think you're going, you rice pudding? Ambrosia settings, people. Lukey with a super chat. Saliba was 10 out of 10. He's going to be a Real Madrid legend. I was enjoying that super chat until the last sentence, and I will not repeat it because I do not want to speak that into existence. Let me talk about my man of the match yesterday. The General. Put some respect on his name, people. This is why Robbie spun around the Emirates. This is why Dineo re-released the record. This is why they call him the octopus in Madrid. Because you don't get past him. Legs just come out of nowhere. How many legs and arms has he got? You can't get away from him. Jorginho, kangaroo jumping penalty taker. Dash him. Mason Mount, a.k.a. Pace and Pound, Frank Lampard's stepson. Dash him as well. Who else was in there? Ruben Loftus-Cheek. What? Dash that little idiot boy as well. Who else was in there? Who else? Kovacic came on. Come out of here, boy. No one got past the General. Jollof settings. That wasn't Indomie noodles party. That was jollof. That was jollof party yesterday, people. What a performance. Man of the match. I don't need to check the passport. Last season I said he must have grandkids. He can't move. He's injured every week. Did man see the performance yesterday from General Partey, people? He shut down their whole midfield. He's flicking the ball over people's head. Oh my, nah. That is the player that we signed. He's in the best form of his Arsenal career, this guy. He looks fit. He looks strong. He's good on the ball. No, yeah, we're coming for that as well, George. Not only do we want the title, I want him to be called the best EM in the league. Who would you say it is? Probably Rodri at City. Yeah, we'll come for him. Fabinho's been awful this season. So, Rodri, we're coming for you as well. We're coming for everything this year. We want the title. I want Partey to be the best EM in the league. I want all of it. What a performance. If he'd have scored, it would have been 10 out of 10 perfect performance. I'm giving him 9.5. Man of the match for me personally. We did a vote yesterday. Who was your man of the match? I thought he was outrageous yesterday. Flicking the ball over him. I didn't see him give the ball away once. He just bully him, man. You get off me, little man. Mount, dash him away. They're calling him Ruben Soft Cheese. No. We can't be doing that. It was all mad. He just, that midfield. Oof, outrageous performance yesterday. 45 million. He benched Rodri at Atletico. Yeah, Rodri, we're coming for you, brother. We're coming for you as well. We want all the smoke this year. Slap Pep on that bald head. Yeah, clatter Rodri, all of it. I want to play Man City now. I want Man City right now. I want to play them this Sunday. Call the Wolves game off. I want City this weekend. Haaland, you can get it as well, you big dopey robot. Ivan Drago can get pocketed as well. Just because he beat Apollo Creed. Apollo was old. Look what Rocky did to him in Russia. Yeah? And right now, Saliba's our Rocky Balboa, people. Adrian! He's ready for it, people. I'm telling you, I want all the smoke. City, all of them. I'll play the lot. I'm on smoke. Thomas Partey, 9.5. Man of the match for me, people. Absolutely outstanding performance from the general. E. Ross said, even I heard Eddie on the sideline singing, I want to party all the time, party all the time. If you know, you know. Listen, man, it is what it is, but you're going to have a tough game against our midfield this season. We'll get that dopey robot. Don't worry, Taib, man. Saliba can get Haaland, man. I've seen Haaland get pocketed by Van Dijk. So we can go for him as well. He can get it as well. He's all left-footed. Keep him off his left foot. Rip his ponytail off. He's got nothing left. Omid said, Big C is a Madrid fan. I always thought Partey was levels above Rodri. Yep, keep talking. I like this. Rodri is blessed to be playing for such a good team and an elite manager. Yeah, I like the sound of that. We'll come for him. We'll get Rodri this season as well. We'll get all of them. Let's go into the other two midfielders. Granit Xhaka. I thought Granit Xhaka was the perfect support act, you know. It's like coming to America. You've got Hakeem and then you've got Simi, you know. It's a support act. I thought Granit was excellent. I love the fact that Granit wanted all the smoke in the corner with Chalobah. Man said, what? And then to top it off, he swears in the television interview. Now, I don't condone swearing. As you know, people, I'm a man. I don't swear on these streams. But Granit Xhaka swearing on BT Sport in the interview, something about that just felt right. It just felt right, you know. This is the guy that stuck the finger up at us. So him kind of swearing on a BT Sport interview, yeah, I can work with that after a 1-0 victory at the Bridge. So Xhaka gets an 8 out of 10 for me. You know, you're swearing on live TV. So yeah, I'm going for an 8. I thought he was a great support act to the general, backed him up, got in the penalty area, made good runs. I like it. I like that from Granit. Sometimes you got to go to the Bridge and have a scrap. Let them know. You see Aspilicueta, a little scumbag trying to square up to people. Granit was on the smoke, and I like it. Granit gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Latte said, I love this stream. Big up yourself, my brother. I hope you are well. Alfred said, put Partey in the City team. It's not even close. I agree with that. You put him in their midfield, he'll be absolutely outrageous. Ruben Soft Cheese. I agree with that as well. Words I never thought would come out of my mouth. Xhaka is our captain. Simple as that. Odegaard's wearing the armband, but we know Granit runs that team. George, thank you for your kind donation as well, bro. He said, big up Curtis in the community. Small donation. Hope it contributes to the channel. Exciting times to be a Gooner. Listen, appreciate everyone who contributes. Like I said, people, we're in crazy financial times. Anything that, you know, is contributed will go towards the channel. So really appreciate everyone who does. And if not, as I said, people, just caress that like button and subscribe. That's all you got to do. But big up George G. 6,000,007. Big C, you missed the E. Ross joke. Party all the time is the Eddie Murphy song. Okay, there you go. You caught me on the back foot there. I was a bit all over the place. The chat's going wild. Man are calling him Reuben Loaf Cheese and stuff like that. You know, my head's all over the place. And Arsenal will do everything they can to be champs. Let's go to Martin Odegaard. Now, go easy on me here, people. Go easy. He was the player out of our whole team yesterday that I was like, did he play well or not? I was kind of a bit on the back foot with this one. I don't think he was bad, but the nutmeg had me, I was jumping up and down on my chair like a kangaroo. I was going mad. Sometimes he baffles me, Martin Odegaard, you know. He has little moments where I'm like, that, you know, play a pass that I'm like, nobody else in this team can play that pass. But at the same time, is he doing enough in these type of games? I'm not going to lie, I had 6.5 written down. I want you to know I'm being harsh, people. I'm leaning on you here. I thought he was very quiet in the game. I had 6.5. Are you with me or against me here, people? Ridwan said no more than a 7. Jason, he played average 6. Elliot said Odegaard 6, should have had a goal in the second half. Yeah, what a chance. Jesus goes past 2, slips him in, don't want to shoot with his right, goes back on the left and then puts it over. He should have had an assist on that corner. Harsh, you give him a 7. No solar power at the Bridge, 6. Ozilgard, 7. 6, a lot of 6s. Cody Mystified said, I would say 6, but the nutmeg gets a 5. Didn't even notice him. 6 for me, said Ammo, but Jesus dropping back all the time doesn't help. Bumpy said, don't be harsh. 8. Was he an 8? I've given him 6.5. I don't know. I don't know, people. Maybe I'm a little bit harsh on him, right? And I shouldn't be. But, you know, I watched Maddison's performance the other day. I'm like, that's how I want my number 10 to be going on. Go for it. Put your chances away. I don't know. 6.5, I think, is reasonable. I don't think he played that well. And he missed a big chance. The nutmeg was great, but outside of that, did he do much? I give him a 6.5. I'm going to stick to it, people. HE said, I felt he was hiding behind players near the front, dropped a bit. Honestly, didn't like this performance, 6.5. Gunnar Vettel said he should have scored. I give him a 6. And he's Norwegian too, normally very biased towards him. Well, there you go. I think I've been reasonable then. His fellow countryman is backing him. Let's talk about the wingers. Let's start with the wingers. Saka as well is a little bit of an interesting one. He was very frustrating at times. Did go past Cucurella a few times quite easy, and Cucurella should have got booked. But Saka did get the assist. It was a terrible corner, let's be honest. But who cares? You know, he knee sliding like he scored it himself. But it was Gabriel who tapped it in. And he definitely wasn't at his best yesterday, though, Saka. But the one thing I would say, he put Cucurella on the back foot the whole game. Easy Does It said Saka is being overworked and overplayed. TH said Saka should have done more, but it was his assist, so it gets a 7. I'm going to give him a shameless 7 because I don't think he played much better than Odegaard, but because he crossed the ball, even though it wasn't a good cross, I'm going to give him a shameless 7. I would have given him 6.5. He gets a 0.5 for the assist. At the end of the day, without that assist, we don't win the game. So he gets a shameless 7, but I think it was a 6.5 performance. Mark said they doubled up on him. 7. 7 for Saka, 7 again. Gabby nearly cleared it. Imagine if he'd have put that over. Saka's shooting is so hit and miss, says Jason. Yeah, just when he gets in good positions, you kind of don't know what's going to happen with him. Alfred, thank you for your super chat, bro. Same thing we praise Jesus for, we don't for Odegaard. Odegaard press keeps Xhaka from having to drop back. He also keeps it ticking. That's a good point. That is a good point. You know, he does press well as well. He does press well, Odegaard. Let's go to Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli had an interesting game as well. He wasn't at his best. He wasn't at his very best yesterday. Let me read this. Agostino said his grandpa is about to pass away. Honestly, Curtis, your videos bring me joy and help take my mind off it. Listen, man, thoughts go out to you and your family. Listen, I'm glad that the channel can uplift your spirits in some way. Stay strong. Community will back you. So big up, man, and take care, Agostino. Appreciate you reaching out in the comments, which I know obviously wouldn't be very easy to do. Gabriel Martinelli, dangerous. End product wasn't fully there, but he did, you know, Aspilicueta got booked and in that right wing-back position, I don't think Loftus-Cheek did much. I've got Martinelli down as a 7. Constant threat. Puts a great ball in that Gabriel Jesus should score. So, yeah, he gets a 7 for me. He's always dangerous. And listen, if Jesus heads that in, we're talking about a magnificent cross, and I'm probably giving him an 8 out of 10. That's the fine margins of football. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a 7. Zizzy, thank you for the super chat. The players hugged the set-piece coach after the match. Listen, they say he's been a revelation at the club since he's come in. Nimbo saying stay strong, Agostino. Big up to the community for reaching out to him, of course. Christian said, hardest working, most energetic front three in the Prem by far, direct and pressing demons. Martinelli and Saka had their fullbacks fouling like crazy. I totally agree. I think we've got the hardest front three in the Premier League to play against in terms of they're going to press. They're going to give you no time on the ball. They can be a nightmare to play against. Gabriel Jesus, I mean, he's causing me a lot of confusion. I've got to be honest. He's causing me a lot of confusion because you're playing so well. You're playing so well. But you can't hit a barn door in front of goal. He compromises me every single time I do player ratings. I'm like, How did Jesus play today? He was fantastic. He twisted, he turned, he set up chances, he held the ball up, he won flick-ons, he was skillful at times. But then ultimately, he's missed another big chance. I think I can only give him a 7, right? Because I just think if you're missing big chances on a regular basis and you're a 45 million striker, I can't keep saying the work rate, and the link up. If he wasn't getting big chances, I'd be like, you know what? He's putting all that work in, not getting a big chance. It will come. He's missing big chances. He is, man. We got to be honest. If we draw that game 0-0 yesterday, we're all talking here today. Arsenal therapy, how did Jesus miss that header? We're getting away with it with him not scoring, but fortunately, we're scoring goals all over the pitch. But as I said last week, Southampton, we had 2 big chances and we should have scored. And there will be days where he has to score. I'll give him a 7.5, right, just because we're in a good mood. A lot of people saying I'm being harsh. These performances he's putting in, you put a goal in yesterday, you could be giving him man of the match. Because every performance against Forest, he was outstanding. 2 assists, 3 assists. Score a goal, you're man of the match. He does need to score eventually, but he is playing fantastic. But those two, the combination of those two has to go together at some stage. The performance and the goal has to go together. I don't want to be treating him like Lacazette and Dirk Kuyt, defensive striker. Man said Lacazitis. Yeah, it's a mad one. He needs a goal. He's got 2 games. He needs to get a goal before the World Cup. All right, anyway. Off the bench, who came on? I haven't even lined up the bench, actually. We didn't make subs till late. Tierney come on for 11 minutes. Elneny 3 minutes. Rob Holding 2 minutes. So the subs all get a standard 5, standard 6. Mikel Arteta, for me, gets I'm going to give Mikel Arteta a 9 out of 10 for yesterday. We made Chelsea look like snack time. When you used to go to school back in the day, they give you snack time on your 10 o'clock break. That was snack time. They brought out a little cup of milk and a couple biscuits. It was snack time. It was light work. Playing Zinchenko at left back, very brave decision. Could have stuck with Tierney. Didn't think Zinchenko would be fully fit. Took the gamble, won the game, pocketed Aubameyang. 9 out of 10 for Arteta. Keep it moving, my friend. I'm telling you, Cone Man music is flying. It's up and running, people. Alfred said Jesus needs this World Cup to go relax a little. Is he? Well, do you know what? That leads me quickly into my next story, people. Yeah, Arteta's breaking the right records. 87 wins in 150 games. That is a great record. You lead me into my next story. You're talking about Gabriel Jesus getting a break. I don't think he is going to be getting a break because according to reports, Gabriel Jesus has been included in the Brazil World Cup squad for next month or this month in Qatar. Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Magalhaes have been left out of the squad according to reports. They've picked Bremer, who I believe plays for Juventus, at centre-back. They've picked him ahead of Gabriel. They were all saying it was certain that, Marquinhos, Eder Militao and Thiago Silva, they were the certain 3. It was all about that 4th choice, and they've picked Bremer from Juventus over Gabriel at centre-back. In terms of the wing position, I always felt Martinelli was going to struggle. They've got Vinicius Jr., Neymar, Rodrigo, Anthony, Rafinha. They take Richarlison as well as a winger/striker. Firmino and Gabriel Jesus are the 2 out-and-out strikers. So listen, Brazil's loss is our gain at the end of the day. I'm disappointed for both the young boys not going to the World Cup. You know how much it means for these players to represent their country. But, Jesus being 25, more established, he would have been definitely expecting to go to this. I think the other 2, at least time's on their side, but still disappointed for them. Diego, thank you for the super chat. Big C, how many times have we said our centre-back scoring, winning us games isn't sustainable? Jesus has to start banging. He does. And as I said, I love Jesus. I think he's playing fantastic, but I'm not going to hide away from the fact he's got to start hitting the back of the net. Juventus have been trash all season. Juventus have been awful. Do you know, I actually got a message from a Juventus fan on Twitter saying that this Bremer has not even been that good for them. So they're surprised that maybe it's because he plays for Juventus. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But listen, their loss is our gain. Keep him with us, get a rest, and do this, obviously, little mini pre-season that Arsenal are going to do. So listen, let's keep it moving. He'll get a break, and we'll make sure that, you know, these guys are well rested and come back fresh. A lot of these players are going to come back shattered from the World Cup. I'm delighted for Jesus, because Jesus must have been worrying, you know, I'm not scoring, they may leave me out. So I'm glad he's in it. I think he needed it more than the other two because of his age and how established he is. Not all the World Cup squads are announced today, by the way. The England one's on Thursday. I think the French one is on Friday. Tomiyasu's been named in the Japanese squad for the World Cup. There were rumours, obviously, because of the injury, he may not be fit, but he's been picked for that. Amaru said, Big C, this is our best chance to win the Premier League. Never again. As I said earlier, we need to go for it. We need to go for it. Get 2 signings in January and see what you can do, people. I'm short for time here, so I've took a long time assessing the game. So I'm going to quickly get into press conference reaction, Cone Man music business, a little light waffle for lunch, people. He doesn't look too happy there. Maybe he's just seen Aubameyang in the press conference. But anyway, let's skip through the waffle. It's going to be short and sweet. Any waffling and we'll skip it, but big up to the gaffer. Mikel for slapping up Chelsea at the bridge. The bridge is over. Alfred said not taking Martinelli will be the reason Brazil don't get to the Final Four. All those Brazilian wingers, none of them help on defence if Brazil need it. Listen, it's one of them, innit? He'll get his chance. He'll get his chance. On the significance of the victory over Chelsea, it's another step as a team to come here against a top opponent, top manager, top world-class players around the pitch, dominate the game and win it. It's very meaningful. Hopefully, we'll give the boys belief. Alan, listen, I said I'll say it eventually. I'm not quite there yet. You know, I'm dealing with the PTSD of Villarreal and finishing 8th. We're making a lot of progress, right? I can't quite say those words yet, but we're getting there, right? We're getting there. On taking confidence from the performance, he said, I was really impressed. We're a young team. We showed a lot of maturity, composure, courage, and determination to play in this stage the way we've played. It's easy to say, but really difficult to do. I think the boys were phenomenal. Let's skip through what he was saying. On sharing a special moment with the fans and players at full time, he said it was great. They've been phenomenal. They've transformed the club, the energy of the club. That's my opinion. They've transformed the way the team believes in what they are doing. To share that with them away from home is really special. Had my family here. I had my son in the middle of the crowd, so it was great. Jeez. Little Mikel was in the Arsenal end, man. Big him up, man. It's good job we won, because if they lost, he might have heard some stuff. But yeah, we won, so it was good, man. Happy Monday, John the Gooner. Love to see that clown, Obba. Paul said last season, everyone said this year will be more difficult to get top 4. This is the only chance to win the Prem next year, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy the moment. Yeah, I hear you, but I think we got to go for it. We still got to go for it. On Arsenal winning 3 consecutive games at the bridge, the first one comparing with this one is different. They are wins that are so difficult to do against this club. We've done it, but I'm especially pleased about how we won today. I think that reflects how much more we want to do. On the importance of our pressing today from the front 3, they've been phenomenal. They have a willingness to do it. They're capable physically, they've matured, and they can sustain it. The difference about demanding them to do something and actually them feeling what they are doing and the benefits for themselves, starting with Gabby. What he did today was just phenomenal. On if they enjoy pressing, he said, yep, they have to. On whether the focus, baby Coney, you know, Lil Coney, on whether the focus is on top spot, he said, what is fantastic is to see the team taking another step. Today was under pressure. Yesterday, we lost that top spot. We were prepared for the game to come here and win, but understanding that winning here is a different story, and today the boys done it. I'm really happy because we managed to get that next step. 2.3K in the chat, people. Lick down the like button and subscribe and all of that good stuff. Let's continue to skip through. On Gabriel Magalhaes' performance and increased maturity, he said, I think both of them, I think that pair again were outstanding. Both of those, that's why we sustained them really well, especially when we had to defend open spaces, which is very difficult against these players. What we defend them to do, I think they did it great. On the difference between this game and our away trip to Old Trafford, we lacked discipline in that game. That is necessary in certain moments, but to do what you have to do, because if not, you get punished. Let's skip it. And whether he's thinking about the title, he said, do something for me. Look in the last 6 years what Manchester City has done with the best manager in the world, with the best team in the world. They have shown it consistently in every single competition. We have to be very respectful of that. We are getting much better as a team. We are competing much better. We are getting really good results right now. But this is a long, long journey. Like, I get it. He's trying to downplay it and not to put too much pressure on the players. But I would have liked a little bit of smoke. Just a little bit. Damn, baby, all I need is a little bit. Baby girl, just a little bit. Just a little bit, man. Just say, listen, I used to be his assistant, but we're going to slap Pep's bald head, something like that. Just a little bit, man. But anyway, I get it. He's trying not to put the pressure on the team, but sometimes we like you going for them a little bit. On whether he thinks we're in contention, he said, we are today. I think football today and tomorrow is very different, so let's enjoy tonight. On the hits Bukayo Saka took today, I think they need to calm down with this whole Saka thing. Like, top players get kicked down. It happens, man. I mean, it's when they know you're a top player. On him being accused of diving, he said, look, I don't know. He doesn't dive. You said you don't know. Then you said he don't dive. So you do know he doesn't dive. But anyway, he's got to defend him. On the gap between Arsenal and Chelsea, that's very unusual. We need to make the most of it. We had a really good start. We're still early in the season. We have to maintain it. It's going to be a long, long marathon. On Ben White's performance, really happy with him. I think he's playing in different positions. He's accommodated himself great in the fullback position. His understanding around the players is top. I really like him. He always wants to be there. He trains every single day. He plays under any circumstance. I love the boy. He loves him. He loves Benjamin White. On whether he should be in the England squad, that isn't for me to decide. If he does, I will be so happy because he deserves it. The headline news, Mikel Arteta loves Benjamin White. He loves him. Listen, he's been fantastic this season. When you drop £50 million on a player, you need to justify dropping that dough. So I can understand he's loving these performances. So big up Benjamin White, people. Right, Chelsea slapped, brushed aside. Done and dusted. Aubameyang, nothing personal. In the mud. 8 touches in the game. He's a shambles. He's a disgrace and a cheat. And I hope he gets relegated. Thai voice. What else? Saliba pocketed him. Gabriel pocketed him. He's got the better hairline. We move on. That's done. We're top of the league. Jesus goes to the World Cup. Martinelli and Gabriel don't. So that's one thing. We're going to talk transfers just briefly before we do talk about transfers. Just want to speak about this quickly. And that is that obviously Arsenal are going to do this mini pre-season in Dubai. David Ornstein has announced it this morning. So I just wanted to bring the details up in case some of you, maybe want to go over there, or you're just getting prepared for the games, whether they'll be on TV. They haven't released a full schedule yet, but after the trip to Wolves on Saturday, the members of the Arsenal squad not playing in Qatar are set to be granted 10 days off and will then return to training in London. They intend to travel to Dubai on December the 4th for a warm weather training camp. So the players are going to get 10 days off, which I totally agree with. It's been a long, hard season so far, a condensed period of time. Give them 10 days off, go and relax with your families, have a holiday, come back to London, start training, and then bang, go to Dubai, warm weather training, do a mini pre-season. During Arsenal's trip to Dubai, exhibition matches will likely be staged with Lyon on December the 8th, Lacazette up against Arsenal, and AC Milan 5 days later, Olivier Giroud. Although Olivier Giroud will probably go to the World Cup with France, so he wouldn't play. It is expected the round-robin format will also feature Liverpool, but the English teams are not expected to meet. So Arsenal, AC Milan, Lyon and Liverpool will all be in Dubai warm weather training and but Liverpool and Arsenal will not play against each other. Both teams will play against Lyon and Milan. Wasim said I'll be in Dubai next week for the Abu Dhabi F1. Imagine bumping into Mikel at the Dubai Mall. Lego shopping. Oh, my days. He might be buying some grease for the haircut and a comb, you know. Sun, sea and sand. Why not, man? Why not? What was the last bit, actually? I think there's a bit more. Arsenal are due to fly home from their warm weather training camp in Dubai on December the 14th and may stage a third game at the Emirates on December the 17th, with talks raising the idea of a Spanish opponent in front of supporters. So, looks like we're going to play a friendly on the 17th at the Emirates against a Spanish club. Obviously, we then come back against West Ham on Boxing Day, the 26th at home in the Premier League. So, they're going to be busy. Waiting to hear the details of these games in Dubai. Are they going to be in big stadiums? Are the fans going to be allowed to go and get tickets? I know before they went to Dubai warm weather training, they played the game at a training complex and didn't let fans watch the game. So it's going to be interesting whether they allow fans and play in a big stadium. So we'll have to see what happens with that one. But Arsenal going to Dubai, they're going to play Lyon on the 8th of December and AC Milan on the 13th over there in Dubai, people. John Guna said, you heard it from me, Arsenal are winning the Prem. I love the positive vibes. Keep it going. Let's talk transfers because, yeah, I would love it if we played Real Madrid or maybe Barcelona. Let's look at what we're doing moving forward, people, because at the end of the day, if we're going to achieve greatness this year, we need to add to this squad. Reports coming out today that this deal is getting ever closer. The Gunners are confident of signing Danilo in January, with Palmeiras already moving to sign his replacement. Brazilian outlet Bola VIP claims a deal is getting close between the two clubs. Lots of reports coming out of Brazil that this deal is close to being done, people. Their season has finished. Palmeiras won the league in Brazil at the weekend. They didn't win the Copa Libertadores, which is the equivalent of the Champions League in South America. If you win the Copa Libertadores, that qualifies you for the Club World Cup, which is in February. It's believed that Palmeiras were not going to sell him if they won that competition. Because they didn't, it is believed they're willing to sell him £26 million. 21-year-old Brazilian. He's been called up for 2 Brazilian squads, but hasn't made an appearance yet. It looks as if Arsenal are back in for him. Edu apparently is in talks with the club as we speak. Are you happy with this signing? Said before, and I'll say it again, I haven't seen enough of him to actually stand behind this signing and say, yes, like, go and get him. I've watched him on YouTube. I've watched a few. I think I watched one game of him was on TV once. So I don't know. I have to lean on the community here. Big up Fran in the chat, by the way. Big up Fran. I did click on his comment. I didn't even read it out. What's happening, community? Hit the likes for my boy. Big up Fran. Make sure you go and follow him on Francis Green. That is his crypto channel. If you want to learn about finance and all of that good stuff. But it looks as if this deal could be the one we're going for now. Having watched Tielemans at the weekend, and what a great performance. He scores another absolute worldie, crossbarring in volley. He's been in great form the last 4 games. Is Danilo the answer in midfield? I've said time and time again, I want Arsenal to sign 2 players in January that are ready to go day one. No adjustment period. I want someone that can hit the ground running, because there's a danger that could be another... You know, it could be another Sambi Lokonga, you know, but maybe we're in a position we got to take a risk. Machego said, not my first choice, but that bench is weak. And maybe the reason that we're not going for Yuri Tielemans is because of this, people. According to the Express, Arsenal are favourites to sign Yuri Tielemans on a free transfer in the summer. Is this us taking the cheap route and saying, because in reality, I think we should, if you want Tielemans, I think you should be buying him in January. Even if you got to pay 15, 20 million for him, I think you should be buying him in January. But Arsenal are probably sitting there from a financial point of view. Well, if you're going to buy him for 20 million in March, you can in January, you can sign him for free in June. But the season's finished in June, and I think a Tielemans would make a massive difference. I'm going to keep it 100. You give me Danilo for 26 million, or you're giving me Tielemans for 20 million in January, I'm signing Yuri Tielemans, right? I'm signing Yuri Tielemans. 20 million, playing well now, Premier League proven, going to the World Cup with Belgium, in good form, scoring bangers. I want Yuri Tielemans. Like you've said here, though, Kyle, the problem could be Danilo is more of a DM, Tielemans more attacking. It looks like they want cover for Partey in that 6 role, which Tielemans doesn't play that role. So it might just be a case of the position they play. Maybe they want Danilo and Tielemans. They're thinking buy Danilo for 26 mil, get Tielemans on a free. I would like to see Tielemans in January rather than wait until the summer. I've got to be honest. Because like people are saying there, I think in the summer we can sign a better midfielder than Tielemans if we're in the Champions League. So that's the centre midfield position update at the moment. Let's talk about the winger position. We know this is a player, a position that we want a player. Fabrizio's got the car park Mudryk back in the equation. I did famously say he's a car park Mudryk and I don't want nothing to do with him, but he is in good form. But his team have just been knocked out of the Champions League, which is a huge financial hit for them. And it looks as if we could be back in for him. Fabrizio Romano says Arsenal remain interested in Mikhailo Mudryk after following him for a long time. His value has risen to 60 to 65 million euros, which is about 51 million pounds. I just don't see Arsenal dropping 51 million on a winger that, again, is not that proven. Having a good season, yes. Had a good Champions League group stage, absolutely. Is he worth 51 million? I don't know. I like him. I think he looks good, but we'll see. I don't see Arsenal dropping 51 million on a relatively unproven winger in January. We'll spend 100 million in January to be champions if we have to. I hope you're right. So Mudryk being linked again with a move to Arsenal, but again, I'm flipping the script again, and you know who's about to come on the screen when we're talking about wingers, people. You know who's coming on the screen. Wilfried Zaha yesterday against West Ham at their stadium, man of the match, scores the equaliser, out of contract in the summer, did an interview with Sky at the weekend saying, I don't know what the future holds, blah, blah, blah. Palace may sell him in January at the right price if he doesn't sign a deal. Again, for me, 51 million on Mudryk, 20 million on Zaha. I'm taking Wilfried Zaha. I'm sorry, I apologise. In fact, I don't apologise because I stand behind it. You give me Zaha and Tielemans in January, I think we're absolutely cooking, people. And I mean cooking. To spend 26 on Danilo and 51 on Mudryk, I don't think there's any guarantees with those two. But that's my opinion. Let's see what you think in the comments. 2.4k watching. Let's be at a 1k likes. Come on, should be light work, people. Not sure about Zaha. I'd take him, but he doesn't work much off the ball when he loses it. He don't track back. Would not be the main man either. That's a good point. Big C, Harvey Barnes will be perfect. I like Harvey Barnes. Good player. Frying it up, man. I'm telling you. Tielemans or Milinkovic. Savic all day long. More expensive, though. We need to play Arsenal v Man City. Zaha and Maddison. Maddison's a baller, man. I like Maddison. Asfar said 100% agreed. The lawyer is calling Edu. Listen, for me, those two would be great signings. But if we get Danilo and Mudryk, I'll get behind it. I'll support it, and I hope they work. Bring Gnabry back home. Signed a new deal. That one isn't happening. Zaha can play multiple positions. Zaha is your age. We might as well sign you. Listen, man, he's playing his best football, man. He's playing the best football of his career. Mudryk is rapid, could be coached. It's just, does he hit the ground running? Jake said, Curtis, I saw Zaha yesterday at the London Stadium. What did you make of him, Jake? How good did you think he was? Southern Guna, Zaha, Tielemans, and a sprinkling of Maddison. Chicken jerk settings. We cooking, people. We are cooking. Right, people, I am out of here. I've got to shoot off because I've got a couple of things to do, and I'm on AFTV at 5 o'clock for Talk is Cheap with Laurie. Make sure you lick that like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you today. Free streams. We did the Champions League watch along. and the Europa League draw watch along. And then obviously we've done this show. I'm on AFTV at 5. Go and support Turkish and the guys on the Big Six show tonight, 9 o'clock. Should be an absolute cook along with all of the drop points over the weekend. So I'll be in the comments on that. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Kevin Campbell's here. He's going to tell me it's the players' Curtis, and maybe he was right all along. Maybe it is the players' Curtis. So big up to everyone for tuning in. Thank you very much for your support. I will see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.